I was a special spokesperson during the big operation that the Israeli Defense Forces did in 2002. At the time, it was when the Israeli Defense Forces essentially took over the security in the West Bank. At the time, it was horrific suicide bombers throughout Israel.
Did you work with the international press or just domestic press?
I actually was only for the international press, and that's what's so unique. In Israel, nobody knows me, and all around the world, I'm a household name.
And how is your American accent so good?
My parents immigrated from California. I'm a California girl.
Which city?
North of San Francisco in the Bay Area.
Santa Rosa? Or?
In San Rafael. I was born in San Rafael. I was. Lucas Valley, so nice place. My parents immigrated to Israel 40 years ago. I've kept the American English, but I'm through and through Israeli.
The IDF has had PR issues for a long time. Why do you suppose that has been?
I don't actually think that it's the IDF that has PR issues. I think that it has to do with the fact that the media worldwide, except in Israel, show Israel only through the spectrum of violence. And when it comes to violence and you show the IDF, it's showing them in one very specific, very negative light. And I think that that's our challenge. We're always shown through the issue of the conflict and violence. And how do you give a face to the people of the IDF when they're constantly shown as a tank or as a soldier or as somebody in a helmet? And that's our biggest challenge.
Do you suppose the Israeli press office has been too lenient with the foreign press, leaving antagonist press a license to come out and malign and even libel Israel?
Everybody does that nowadays in the press. It goes both ways in the sense that nobody is objective anymore. And I think that what we have is a sense that shouldn't the reporters be objective? What I look for is balanced. And when I say balanced, it means that they show both sides, that they're not presenting it from one side. And when I say that we're presented through violence, that's part of what interests the world. At the end, when people watch news, one of the reasons that we go out and watch news, they show us a little bit of blood, a little bit of violence, a little bit of gore. And what to do then in Israel? We do have a violent conflict, and that's when we're on the news. For me, a good day is when we're not in the news. I don't think it necessarily has to do with bias per se.
Do you think Israel ought to be investing more in Hasbara?
I think we always need to, because the name of the game is that we're in the media. If you're going to be in there, then you need to step up to it. You can't allow the other side to be the one that's defining and framing the story. And in that sense, what we do very often, we say, oh, they're saying lies, no response, or whatever. And I say, no, you have to be proactive. You have to step up. You can't just let one side tell the story without responding. And what you want to do even more is be out there as quick as you can, because the story's going to be there.
How reliable are stories that come filtered through the Palestinian Authority, even those that come from foreign press sources, Reuters and AP? Coming from the Palestinian Authority, is there an inherent bias to be satisfactory to their censors?
We need to be honest. Do you and I actually expect the Palestinians to be showing the Zionist narrative? Let's think about that twice. They have their own framing and story. For them, it's about other issues. We frame it differently, and that's part of our challenge because our frame is different from theirs. The question that I'm going to ask in that case is, what happens with the story at the end? Are you seeing both sides, or are you seeing Israel through their eyes, or on the other hand, them through our eyes? In each case, you're not going to be seeing the way that they see it. I think that the Palestinians look at us with very different eyes. It's not easy for us to look at ourselves that way. Sometimes we need to step back and say, okay, they're obviously not going to be supporters of Herzl, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're also totally against us all the time.
Mm-hmm. What about in the allegations of white phosphorus during Operation Cast Lead?
In that sense, it's something which is, and again, I say this is the challenge, it's part of the disgusting rules of the game. They say, we deny, we say. I've been in the IDF most of my adult life. And in that sense, when they say lies, we know. They know. We try to get that out. It's true that within the media, that sense of the rumors goes very, very quickly. Everybody knows about massacres that never actually happened. Everybody knows about white phosphorus that never actually happened. And the question in that sense there is, how do we get back our own credibility? Because if there's one sense that I think that today we lack, it's that people actually believe the underdog, the Palestinian side, they believe them more than they believe official Israel. That's a very big challenge.